Like, how do you create this shit? How did you do it? Because you were telling people we showed a little video of you when you were just a young kid. This is what I'm going to do. Here's what I want to be.
You know, a young boy, my oldest sister. You know, my family is a great family. I have a loving family. My mother, my father, my two sisters. But my lineage, the McGregor lineage, we are bled on the battlefield. You can trace my lineage back to the Highlands where we fought invaders off of our land with our family sword, the Claymore. I saw the sword in your office just earlier, and I was wondering where that sword was from. Yes. I have my family sword. It's a Claymore. It's wrapped in sheepskin, and I have it hanging on the banisters of my stairs just to remind me of where I come from and who I am. We are warriors. We are fighters. So my sister, when I was a young kid at around 15 years of age, unsure where I was going, came to me with a book, The Secret, and preaching the law of attraction. And I was like, stop, get away from me. I'm only a young kid. I didn't care about that. I wanted to just go out and play. You know what I mean? Yeah. I wasn't interested. I was almost laughing at it. But then she kept on me with it, and I eventually watched a movie on it and read some books on it. And then it started to resonate with me, like to keep positive and have belief in where you're going. And you're able to, you can almost visually create your entire world. No, not almost. You actually can.
Yes.
You can. And then I was like, I'm going to do that, and I will do that. And then that's when I began to practice it. I practice it. We used to drive, my girlfriend, we used to drive to a food place in like a shopping mall in Ireland, and it was a very busy shopping mall. And I would practice like little parts of it. Like when we were driving into the shopping mall, the car park, I would always visualize that the car park space right at the front door would be empty for me, waiting for us to pull up. Yeah. And sometimes I'd get it and sometimes I wouldn't get it. You know, but when I got it, I'd celebrate it like I just won my double world title. You know, and I kept building on that and I got better at it. And I became so damn good at it that I was able to go into bouts against undefeated fighters for not defeated for over 10 years, or, you know, people with insane fighting legacies, and I was able to go in front of the world and tell the world, I'm going to knock this man out with this exact shot at this exact time, and I done it back to back to back. And
so you'd visualize it, you'd see it, you'd feel it, you'd tell everybody.
I tell everyone. I think that's a very important thing. It's easy for us to keep it all in, but you're not on
the line then.
All in is a term I like to use in my ventures. All in. We've got to be all in on our ventures. I am all in on my whiskey. I'm all in on my clothing, my fitness regime, the McGregor Fast program. I am all in on the fight game. I just want my worth. You know, there's a lot of politics in the game. The fight game is full of sharks, but I'm the fucking whale. So I want what's mine, and that's what I'm going to get, what I deserve. So.
You said originally you wanted to be in soccer, I heard, but even then you visualized, I understand.
Well, again, yes. See, I was visualizing before I even knew about it. Obviously, soccer is huge in Ireland and the UK, and it was my first love, most certainly. I used to sneak out of the house late at night, and there used to be a little grass patch by my home, and I'd take the football out and play on the grass patch on my own, and I would kick the ball against the wall. And when I kicked the ball against the wall, I would imagine it was a goal, the goal net, and I scored a goal, and I would run off. And I would visualize a screaming arena cheering me on. And they were my first visions of selling out arenas and you know, and doing these type of things. Although it didn't end up in the football game, I ended up in a similar one. So it all worked out, and it was all true visualization. So I was just a young kid with a dream. You know what I mean? And sometimes my dreams change, but it was still a kid with a dream and a belief in himself. And for many times I was laughed at and not believed in, but you know what? Nothing external can defeat the internal. The only thing that can take someone down or break you down is internal. Nothing external is strong enough. It's just about making sure your internal dialogue and your internal belief in yourself is strong enough that it can withstand the external. The external is there. You've got to accept it. You've got to embrace it. You've got to understand it and be aware of it. But don't let it seep into your internal dialogue. And I am, as a 30-year-old man, I don't know it all. I'm up and down and growing with this. I'm trying to continue to learn. It's a daily occurrence. Not to let that external infiltrate my internal. And that's what I'm trying to do right now, because I have let it infiltrate it at times.
How do you do that? How do you keep it out? What do you do?
I think, you know, it's a daily thing for me. I like constant
do you
internal.
Do you have a set of rituals at all?
You know, I'm figuring out my rituals Only recently, only yesterday, I was like, every time I wake now, I put on a song. I start every day with a dance.
That's awesome.
And feel myself. Who am I?
Yes.
I know who I am. I am an Irish animal, a proper Irish animal. My career is a career of never been done before. No Irish man has done what I have done. I opened up pathways for my people. We came steaming through the door thanks to my belief and my hard work. So that's...
Yeah, people said you couldn't master the game with your own people in Ireland. You had to come to America, but you took your own team and you've been loyal to your team.
You know what I done?
I
brought the game to Ireland. I said I would drag the promotion back. I put my people on. I put my nation on the map. Although we are known as the Fighting Irish, in boxing terms, we have a rich history in boxing, but not in mixed martial arts. True fighting, a full fight. We had zero history, zero impact. We were almost looked down upon. The UK scene had risen up. There was many stars. Of course, the Brazilians, they invented the sport, Vale Tudo, no holds barred fighting. Then the Americans took it, franchised it into the UFC, and built it up to what it was.
Yeah.
So the Americans and the Brazilians dominated the sport, and then the UK was rising up, and the Irish were just the Irish.
Yes.
But I knew
more.
different. No more. Exactly.
Give
exactly.
it up for him. That's awesome, man.
Now my nation's flag is on the UFC belt. They released a new belt because what they do is they're a crafty bunch, the UFC, and I have so much respect for the. I love the company. I love all the people involved. But anytime I dip away, they try and reignite my interest and get me back in there. What they done was I won the 2 belts. The first 2 ever done it. The first 2 ever, and still the only 2 ever do it unified.
Yes.
There's been interim double champions, but that's not unified double champions. I'm the only unified.
Champ.
The champ, exactly, exactly, the OG champ. But what they done was they got rid of those old belts and they created this new belt and they put my flag on the new belt. So they're playing games with me. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, but he doesn't know who he's playing with.
But I'm in shape. My body is sore from work.
I know you look
what
like
I mean?
you're ready to go rip somebody open.
I have my nutritionist with me. I have my doctor with me. I have my people with me. I am blessed to be able to do that. You know, for so long, like in my mid to late 20s, when I started to acquire wealth and acquire money, I was fascinated with materialistic things. I would buy myself cars, watches. I know I'm speaking about that, and a big diamond watch on my bezel. This was actually a gift, but I switched off of that now. It's like I realized I was spending things on material items and not things on myself, on my being, on my fitness, on my health. I've switched that completely. Like I said, my nutritionist travels with me full time. My doctors, my training partners, my coaches.
Yeah.
I have a full team, and it's all for health, fitness, and peak performance. We've got to be in shape. I think a trait of the successful is to train early, wake up and train early. You've got to be successful, or you've got to be in shape.
Yes.
To be, you've got to be in shape physically to be in shape mentally.
Yes.
They go hand in hand.
Yes.
So I'm putting a lot more time into that, and I realized I actually